Over the past year, I've narrowed my focus quite substantially in my business empire that you may have seen before, but I am absolutely in need of putting together an actual strategy that I can stick to for a period of time and then work through and pivot once I realize if it's working or not. And that's what I've been doing here the last couple days after having some good conversations with people that have done the things that I'm trying to do before me. And I'm going to share that with you because this is kind of like a place to document, the beginning of a new strategy or a new way of doing the things that I'm doing. So I'm Mark Joseph Szymanski. I'm owner and founder of FindIT. I'm probably going to be saying that a lot more now because baked into this strategy is kind of more of a focus specifically on one brand, which is FindIT, which builds websites, maintains websites for clients, small to mid-sized businesses. And we need to do a little bit more strategic work, like I've been saying. That's the point of this video. So we're going to dive right into it. I have a document, as usual here. I'm going to chat about everything that kind of culminated how I started to think about this. And obviously, it's a process, so this is not its final form. But if you are in a similar situation and you need to focus more, if you're doing too many things and you're not, maybe you have like a bunch of different side projects going on. I have 4 entities that I wanted to build up at the same time. I've learned pretty much it's not really a good idea, especially by yourself. It's basically impossible. It's hard enough to build one thing, let alone 4 at the same time. So this is the direction that I'm headed, and I'm going to share the strategy with you, and hopefully you can apply it to your web development business or anything else. Just this concept of picking a singular aim and then working hard at it, and then over time you can start to pull in more things. But so that's kind of the overall there is I have a web development company and we want to scale it. We need to be more strategic. So started a little document here and let's kind of go through it. So the purpose is we need a strategy to create a brand identity and authority for us in the web development space. To this point, we manage about 12 clients and it's going well, but it could be absolutely going way better. And we don't have the authority that FindIT does not have the authority that I wish it does. And I could potentially pull up some numbers here as we go along, but the website is solid, not by any means perfect. And the content, like if you were going to find a person to build your website, I feel like a big thing is you want to feel confident that they know what they're doing and that they're good at building websites. And you can kind of see that from us. I mean, this isn't a fly-by-night operation, but there's definitely ways to improve that. So that's kind of like the basic thing is we need to improve our brand identity and our authority. That's just getting our name out there more, putting out good content consistently that pulls people back to the site, like not just like anonymous content, like associate good content with your brand is really like the easiest way to describe that. I have been doing that to a certain degree. I do that on the FindIT channel, but I'm also going to need to do that through my personal channels because based on the people that I've talked to and the examples that I've seen, I'm very good like looking at what other people do and be like, oh, that's making sense. Let me try to adopt that into my business and adapt it to fit my specific situation. Everybody is doing that. They'll have a brand like FindIT, and then they'll have their personal brand. And instead of what I was doing where I was like separating both of them, they will leverage them together and they'll use their personal outlets that they probably have potentially more followers on or whatever to not advertise their service or their product, but more so talk about the problems that they solve and the knowledge that they have. And that's why like it's kind of like reverse engineering it. And when you really break it down, it makes total sense, but you're not selling the product. You're selling the problem that the product solves, like the solution to that. When you look at it like that, it's a lot more valuable and it makes a lot more sense. And I think I'm still trying to figure out the perfect blend, but the real big thing is if you can have somebody talking about it, like one person, like a singular individual talking about it on behalf of a company, it gives it a different feel than the company talking about it because I don't know. There's just like I think it's almost a subconscious thing that seems to work really well. So let's keep going. So develop the strategy and then actually stick with it for a month before changing the concept. I have been notoriously bad at this recently because I think that I need to keep changing and keep pivoting, but I'm not like actually doing I'm not giving the thing enough time to actually marinate and track if it's working or not. And I'm still in the very early days of this. Well, I mean, we've been doing it for 3 years, but like as far as actually like focused on, it's been really only like 1 year from the ramp up period. So that is, yeah, that is a big concern of you have to give things time to actually potentially work before you pivot from them. I need to make sure I do that. And then the MJS personal brand, I don't even know. And the MJS personal brand number one expertise is going to be websites. Like I don't like pigeonholing myself. I have way more value to offer, but at least for now, as I'm writing this down, I'm going to implement it. So the point of that is kind of what I said earlier. Is to this point, my MJS brand has been, basically whatever. Like, and it's been an emphasis on, learn, try, share, which I'm not going to stop doing that. But if you look at this video on my website, on my Mark Joe Szymanski website, it's about me, which it's not going to not be about me. Obviously, it's my website. But even like the courses, like these aren't even really done. I'm not going to really focus on this website. It's more of like the persona that I give off. If you look throughout this website, there's a lot of things on here, and there's nothing related to like web development. And I'm not going to change that per se, because I don't really know how many people go to this. But the point is, a specific example, because we're jumping ahead here, is anywhere where it's me, like my social profiles or whatever, I've noticed, and I'm not going to give actual examples because I don't know if people want me to give actual examples of their profiles and stuff like that. It's public, but whatever. But I'm just going to abstractly tell you what I've learned from other people and now what I'm implementing in here. So we're jumping, let's actually use this one because this is the before shot. Don't mind my weird picture here. That was actually like a video that was playing while I took a screenshot. But here's what I mean. We're jumping ahead on the LinkedIn thing here, but just as a brief thing to specifically talk about this. This is my LinkedIn profile as of like yesterday before I made some changes, which we'll go over. But everybody that is a solid CEO and a thought leader in whatever they're doing, they do this differently. If they have like a company, right? If they have a company that like is doing the service, it's kind of also two different ways. You can either have a company that's performing the service or a company that's teaching about like the service, like how to be better in the service or whatever, right? And either way though, their website, unless it's like unless their name or whatever is the website that you're going to, it's like this bottom line. Okay, I'll just stop. MarkJoeSzymanski.com. Instead of being MarkJoeSzymanski.com, it should be FindIT. Like if that's my main gig, it should be that, because that's where I want to take people. I've reversed engineered it, and I've thought about it differently all the time, and I'm like, it should be my website because it's my social profiles, and then over on FindIT, it should be FindIT. Yeah, if I was like rolling in money maybe, and I didn't need to like drive more business to the web development stuff, but I need to be like, if my first thing is web developer, I don't do web development here. And I'm not saying this is like a catch-all, like you should never do this, but if I was like focused on markjoeszymanski.com and I was like had courses there and like they were all good and it was generating revenue, then you could do it that way and you could say I do this, but I also do these things. But there's a big problem, slight aside, but very related in this society right now. Everybody, like we look at these people that are rich and like, oh, they're involved in all these different companies and shit like that, as they have a big portfolio, and like that is the stupidest thing ever, because it actually doesn't make any sense to start off that way. Like which is, I don't want to say it was a lie that I was sold. It's my fault that I kind of did it. I don't regret it. We'll get back to them. But the point is that you can't do that. Like you cannot start 4 things at one time, clothing brand, 2 podcasts, web development agency, and then like an online media company. You can't do all that at the same time. So you got to build up one, and you can build it up pretty quickly, and then you could spin off other things. That's my plan now. That is what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. And all these little details like this is people know me, right? Almost 2,000 followers, connections, whatever the hell, on LinkedIn here. They know me. But if they go here, then they're going to click on this Mark Joe Szymanski thing. And that's not the main way that I'm producing income right now, and it's not even my main focus, so why am I taking people there? Like, that's the type of thing that I mean. So it's a small detail, but it speaks to the bigger thing that we're trying to do here. So let's keep going. I don't want to make this too long. So context. My MJS channels have been centered around business, finance, and life documenting. That's extremely true. I post whatever the hell I want on there. We were doing house stuff. I put that on there. Any finance things that like I come across or whatever that have generated revenue in the past, like partnerships with like Novo and stuff like that. They have, But it hasn't been the main thing. Like maybe I can make that a business, but right now I'm deciding that it's going to be building websites because it's a service-based business, generates recurring revenue. Like that's what we're going to do. And then I could turn into more of a cultural and business and all that, type of personality. I could focus on that maybe later. We'll see. But yeah, so I was talking about all that. And I don't necessarily want to stop that, but it's not fruitful or on brand with my main focus right now, which is building FindIT Tech. Just explained that. It's not to do with web development. It's not to do with that stuff. So that's why, that's kind of the aim now. I literally hate the idea of putting MJS, like the black and, red brand, here, my personal brand, in the back seat for now. But like I have to. Like I can still kind of do it, but I have to do it through the lens of FindIT Tech and website. So again, just to reiterate, the way that I'm currently processing this, or at least as of 2 days ago, was that MJS like does not talk about web development really. Like kind of abstractly, maybe I'll put it on Instagram or my stories or something like that, but I'm not. That's not its focus. It's my life and it's business. It's like kind of business, like the stuff that I'm doing or whatever. It's random things that I'm thinking about. It's cultural stuff, which again I don't really want to stop that because I'm not gonna stop having those ideas. But I need to at least try to focus on FindIT Tech, like actually intentionally for, I don't know, 6 months and see what happens or something like that. And I think I said a 1 month in there, but I actually need to actually focus on it fully and direct it because I know, here's the thing. I know that if I did that, people would associate me with websites and digital marketing and being the guy in that space because I do know a lot of shit. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm just saying that they would think of me differently rather than thinking. Okay, let me give you a perfect example real quick because this is important if you're actually walking through this process for yourself. I've put up almost 70 episodes of us over the last year and 5 months or whatever on personal channels and the personal professional channels, the MJS brand, okay, everywhere on there. And I have constantly, again, 60 episodes over once a week on average, not necessarily, but once a week, okay, put up an episode about us upgrading this house. Now we haven't been doing it for a while, but the point is that I recently put up another one. I have gotten so many people, I cannot count the amount of people that have said, how's the house? Okay. I don't give a shit. I'm tired of answering that question actually, right? Because that doesn't make me any real money. They just see that. They probably don't even watch it. They just know that I've been making those videos. It's a stupid endeavor from a financial standpoint. Love it from a life document. I would not recommend against it. I'm just saying it was a waste of time if you compare it to money. But that's not how I did it, so that's fine. But my point is that if I was making content about website shit once a week for a year, people would even subconsciously know, and the question would have been, how are the websites? Or how are websites? Or you do websites? Or, hey, I could use a website. And again, that's a whole nother conversation that we'd have to have there because that goes a little deeper into what I'm actually, another part of the transition thing here as far as my target and things like that. But my point is that just putting stuff into the world like that always is fruitful in some manner. You're gonna get a response like that if you do something, consistently enough like that. So that's my point. So that's why we need to do, if I just made website content, people probably watch it more because it probably affects more people rather than my stupid house shit. But that's the point that I'm making is I need to just do it and do it consistently for a while and see what happens. So that's the whole point. So then associate the MJS channels with web content geared towards potential clients, not technical. This is another big one and another one that kind of messes with my head. I have 2 YouTube channels right now. The MJS channel has the house stuff, random finance stuff, products, whatever, stuff that I put on there. Fine. It's made some money for different reasons like partnerships or ad money or whatever. Cool. But the other one, FindIT Tech, has been strictly web development stuff, and it's been strictly web development stuff that only web developers care about. Good and bad. That is nice that that's the case, but that is a different audience. I'm still I'm always still thinking about kind of I'm still 2 audiences. It's people that want to build their own website and people that I could service. I could build their website for them. 2 different people. And I don't understand how some people get you're putting up technical content on how to build websites. I don't see how that's going to consciously attract clients because they're not going to be looking for that. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me from a strategical perspective. But the other thing is, the only thing that it could do is like provide some like authority that you kind of know what you're talking about. But if I was like telling you how to fix a car, I mean, if I knew how to fix a car, but I actually didn't, I was telling you how to fix a car, would you believe me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could be, the point is that I could not, there's no like way to like really understand if the person knows what they're talking about. If you're talking to a non-technical person on a YouTube video, but you're telling them technical stuff, there's no way for the lay person to understand if they're doing it. So my point is that the content that I put on these MJS channels is not going to be, how to, use advanced custom fields or, whatever, jet engine. Like, it's not going to be that. I might still do that. I should still do that on the FindIT Tech channel because people actually care about that stuff. I've made 12 videos. I got like 100 subscribers, not big numbers, but I'm saying that like just people like that content, but they have to be other people that are doing the things that I'm doing, which I do not want to. They're not my main focus, but they are second. Like, I want to still create networks. I want to connect with other developers and help them because there is value in that. Because I fancy myself as a pretty decent WordPress developer. I would say I'm definitely above average when it comes to the way that I create and stuff like that, and like the tools that I know how to use. But my point is, though, that I'm not saying like everyone sucks. I want to help more people get to that level if they want to. But that has to be a secondary goal because I haven't, another last point on this, I haven't built a business, so I don't want to tell people how to build businesses or tell them how to necessarily be a web developer because I'm not really there yet, like as far as that goes. You can do it over time, so that's fine. But that's my point is, MJS channel needs to be content directed at people that want websites, and particularly people in the target market that I want to do that. So that is going to be a pivot. The MJS channel is going to go from that to stuff about websites or something like that. If I do that, I'm not even talking about YouTube because I didn't even really think about YouTube in this strategy. It was more so all the other outlets, specifically like LinkedIn and things like where those people would probably be. So we'll talk more about that. So an example, didn't really finish this yet, but like a blog post per week or like one post per day on the MJS LinkedIn account, like just 6 to 10 lines or something like that of, hey, here's a thought that I had on digital marketing, website related stuff. What do you think? Or have you ever thought about this? Have you ever heard this? What are your thoughts? Just to get people, like, so people see it and they're like, they give some feedback, or they just subconsciously start to know, oh, hey, this guy builds websites. Connect with people that aren't obviously in the website development industry, and that I could potentially build websites for one day. That's what we need to do on LinkedIn specifically there. A blog post per week. This is the other big thing is I want to bolster this website. And I need to do it in a way that still makes sense. And everything about this website, I've pretty much decided that in the past, the way that I've wanted to do this, and I may still do it, but I might not do it. I might not lay it out the same. Let me just explain. If you come to find a tech website, this page is, let's talk about target audience, okay? Not the specific target, this deeply specific target audience, but who it is. This page is geared towards prospects, clients, right? Why choose FindIT Tech? Clients, services, all clients, that's the thing they want to know, work clients, learn. Nobody that wants a website will ever click on this page. They might click on it, but they will get no value out of this because they don't really, like WordPress kind of, they might know, maybe some of these other things like slightly, super slightly, but they're not going to know. This page is not, like, it was never even per se completed, but the point is that this does not do anything for a prospect or a client. This page is specifically, it was in my mind from the get-go and is going to be, but definitely different some way, is for web developers. It's for other people that are, before me, that I've learned from, I've learned these things and these tools and everything like that from people ahead of me and from personal experience or whatever. And this is how we do it. This might be a page on this website, but it's going to be like not necessary. It's going to be like hidden or whatever, or it'll be on the MJS website. It'll probably be on here though, because I do like some sort of separation as far as that goes. But it's not going to be it's not going to be prominent on the website, like, at all. The way that I would have to do this is I would have to say finditech.com as the main website, and then maybe later like a subdomain or like just a section of the website that is like for developers. Like, are you a developer? Like, but it's totally not the point of this. Like, that's not where we should go. Instead, maybe it'll say learn, I don't know, but it'll say like resources or something, and it'd be like a blog or other like, you know, templates and stuff like that, free-ish, like free type content that people can get, that I will produce and I will post, value that I give to people that are not doing business with me yet, or people that are, I don't give a shit, but like people that aren't, but might be doing business with me. I want to give them something before they potentially, we get into agreement or whatever. That is what we need to do. That is kind of what I'm talking about by, like a blog post per week, automated newsletter. Just, I don't know, this random idea. Like as far as the, sending out the blogs to people, I'd like to get an email list for this business a little bit better because haven't really dealt with that too much. But just again, it is just about the technical aspect of this is not difficult at all. It's so much more about the messaging and kind of the flow in a sense. But it's all easy. I don't want to say it's easy. It's all very doable. I've done it in different realms before, and that's what we need to do. It's all about like the marketing of this, because the products that I do, the services that I do are solid. We need more clients in the area that we want. So targets. I don't even have this filled out because I don't know how to address industry. I don't really care, particularly like industries with big money, like that are willing to spend, like generally understand the value of a website, need a website, because some industries don't necessarily need as much. They need a website and they have money generally to spend or whatever. Small to mid market cap, probably on the small end of it, more so than the mid right now. I would say between like I would like to do over 1 million a year, like businesses that do over 1 million a year in revenue. I feel like that is at least the sweet spot that I should be aiming, because I'm trying to get projects that are $7,000, $5,000 to $10,000 at minimum, because I know that the product that I produce is in that caliber, and there's a lot of other things surrounding that, whether like how I go about that or what I should do there, but that is like super imperative that I want that to be the case, because the work that I do and the amount of time that I spend, I'm not going to say it's like, oh, I can't do anything for less than that, but like I just need to do a much, much, much better job, because historically I've done an awful job at like actually paying myself what I'm charging what I'm worth. So that's kind of where we're at there. Again, those are kind of subject to change and hash out a little more. But once I figure those out, I need to attack those areas, like laser focus, target those things. Wherever that may be, like via LinkedIn or via, the way that I like SEO on like a specific page or blog post that like, talks specifically to those types of people. Like the messaging needs to be, you need to develop a target and then build the messaging like around that. So that's somewhere there. So like messaging here, let's talk about this. This is probably the most important part. So radical idea. I had this radical idea to use Fueled by Progress as the name of my web development business, because of aesthetics, but it's probably not worth it because Fueled by Progress is a different business for, all different reasons. And I really love that name, but I hate that it's not being used right now, but it is trademarked, so I will come back to it. FindIT Tech, I'll throw this up on the screen here real quick. When I named things when I was younger, it was just so stupid. But like this is something that I did here recently, where it's FindIT, which is like find it within yourself to consistently improve. Tech is technology that separates good businesses from great businesses, and then LLC because we're committed to professionalism, which I actually that's one of the things I did. I actually recently just took off this LLC from everywhere, so everywhere is just FindIT Tech now. I just don't really like the name, but I think like a lot of people don't like their business names after they've, when they named them when they were young. But yeah, so that's a, so I don't love the FindIT Tech name, but I think I'll roll with it. Probably going to drop the LLC in marketing, non-legal content. I already did that on everything. Quick note about that. If you have a stylized name on a Facebook page, you're not going to be able to deal with it, because I have it listed just as FindIT Tech LLC, the way that it is, with the comma and the capital letters and everything, and then you try to take that out and just make it FindIT Tech, and they're like, oh yeah, you can't have unnecessary capitalization. So yeah, Facebook is the worst platform ever, but it's fine. I'm probably not going to put a lot of content on there anyway. And then so people need to think this is another key, okay? What I was talking about before. People need to think, to this point, people have maybe thought about like, I say MJS because I like the way that sounds, but like Mark Joe Szymanski, MJS, like, house shit or whatever, or, some crypto random finance stuff in the past or whatever. I need them to think MJS at FindIT. Like, I need them to think that. And it's been a personal thing, like I've described. I didn't want to give that up. I didn't want to give up the personal brand, but MJS at FindIT. That's what needs to be. Associate the two. MJS knows websites. MJS is a website guy. He's very good at it. Like, he can build incredible websites. Like, that's what I need. FindIT is the company he does that under. That's what I need. And hopefully one day with this business or other business or something, the only thing I will say about this is I don't want, like, forever my personal brand to be associated with like any brand that I do. I want to be able to I want to be able to disconnect myself from the brand at some point. Obviously, we're not even close to that. But my point is that, like, this business, like, I don't want my face to be front and center. Right now it is because I'm the only person working. But that's what I mean is, like, long term, it's not a good, like, deep long term, not really a good play, because, like, if you ever sell, it's like if you're wrapped up so heavily in the business and you sell, like, there's not a lot of value there. But that's just a long term thing that I don't need to worry about right now, but it is an important point. So if I can establish some underlying messaging, this will be a lot easier and more effective. So I need like a buzz phrase, or just like a tagline type thing, which we'll talk about that, I guess, maybe right now. I went over to ChatGPT because I just got ChatGPT Plus. And so, like, I literally said I need a tagline for my website development business. And then it gave me some good ones here. And then I said I want the target to appeal to mid-sized businesses, emphasis on solving problems and generating more revenue. And then it gave me some different ones. I said don't say mid-sized. I said 50 characters or shorter because I want it to fit in our first, like, our Google SEO listing for our meta tag. So, like, FindIT, and then, like, that's kind of like the main thing there. Just make it shorter, so it's not like super long. And this is amazing. I mean, we can make a whole another video on ChatGPT. I would highly recommend it. But yeah, so, like, start with we, so something like this. But the point is here, I don't even know what the answer to this question is yet. I haven't figured this out. But something like this. So it'd be like, FindIT, we drive business growth with web design. I hate that. That's super like, that's super generic. But, like, something where it's like there's a buzzword or a buzz phrase that's, like, unique to us in some manner. We build Incredibles to whatever word, like, like something. I actually don't want the emphasis to be on design. I want the emphasis to be on results or functionality. And honestly, we should make it on results, perhaps, because, or a blend of results and design or something, or blend of results and functionality. Like, I don't want to just say, like, oh, our websites make you money. Like, that's stupid. Like, it's just, there's a little, I really like the idea of, like, solutions. I don't know a way to per se do it yet, but again, I'm working through this. I'll figure this out. I'll update you when it happens. But the point is that you need some sort of, like, messaging to tie your brand to exactly what you do, a little tagline or a little something. So yeah. So from now on, we sell solutions to problem in the form of websites. Like, that honestly isn't bad. Like, something like that, because that is something that I'm very good at, and I know that is what a website should be, but I've never explained it like that. It's like every single time a client comes to me and says, "Can we do this?" We do it. Like, it happens. I figure it out. We solve the problem that they have. So that's what we need to lean on, and just somehow message that appropriately. So I love the clean and concise look and feel that comes with listing positions. Okay, so now we're transitioning into down here. So here's what I mean. So this, I think we'll pretty much wrap up with this here because this video is getting pretty long. I'm talking here about the positions I hold, regular person. Okay, so this is what I've realized. Okay, we're going to talk about the LinkedIn thing, and we're going to talk about the things that I've changed here recently, and the things that I need to change because I think it's super important. All right, so we're going to go over the screenshot here. The first thing that I'm talking about here is this, how, like, this is your headline on LinkedIn, where it's like people see that. So, like, all these other random people over here, like, that's the little subtext on the side, right? So Mark Szymanski, web developer, content creator, digital entrepreneur. That tells people nothing. I mean, that tells people that like I build websites, perhaps I make content online, and I'm a digital entrepreneur. Those are all true, but that doesn't sell anybody on shit. It actually almost sounds like I don't work for myself in some ways. I mean, so it's not. I don't have a business to help you to use to help you. So it's really stupid. It's not a good plan. I love the cleanness of it, but as far as like making more money, it's stupid. So everybody else, what they do is they do like I do X, Y, Z for ABC or something like that. And and we talked about kind of like bringing everything to the forefront. I have some different ideas that I want to change here. So we'll kind of just run through this. And again, I'm not going to use other people as examples. I'm just going to use myself and what I learned, but now what I'm going to change. Need to change the top thing. Okay. Can't be MJS anymore. I would love it to be, and I may like still, because I'm crazy, might like put it on the sub thing somewhere, but probably not. This is my page, but like this needs to be about what I mainly do. Can't be me, because I'm not me right now. Like I'm, founder of FindIT is what my main thing should be. This has got to say FindIT. It's got to say like visit FindIT. It's got to like be like, hey, what we do, our little tagline or something like that, whatever. Picture obviously is a video right now. I took that video off because it was in talking. The video also, if you're going to say that, there's a picture of me on there or whatever, like normally like this. But there was a video. You can have a 30-second intro video. I'm going to make another one because this one wasn't talking. It didn't say FindIT in it one time. It said something about like fueled by progress and like me and stuff, which again, not bad, not focused though. So we can't do that. We talked about this line down here. The things here, the topics that we talk about, finance, podcasting. I'm not even currently podcasting. We're not going to talk about that. Entrepreneurship, personal development, yes, and finance, yes. I like those things, but we can't talk about them. So I'll show you how we change that. And then over here, MJS Industries. I love MJS Industries. It's the holding company that I have. It's the parent company, and it's cool that like, oh, I work in MJS Industries, but like that's my main company, but that's not what I'm doing. It doesn't make any money actually at all. It's just a holding company right now. Like there's nothing there. So that is not what we're going to be doing. So we've changed some things. Let's just talk about what we've changed. So I haven't changed the top yet, but I changed these little things here. So web design, agency life, user experience, web development, entrepreneurship. Those are the things I need to talk about. I changed FindIT over here. So now that's like the main gig there. This is what I currently have. I can solve your business problems with a better website. That honestly would make sense if it said you. But I mean like something like I or we. In this case, it should probably be I. In the actual business stuff, it should say we. And I'm not happy with that, but that is way better than it was because it actually says kind of what the hell I'm doing, right? So that's something important to note there and something that we're doing. Change this down here. This is markjosemansky.com. As you remember, this goes to FindIT.com now, and it's like a call to action where it's like, let's solve your website woes. That is like the most amount of characters you can put in there, and I thought that was kind of nice. But if I change this to something, then like maybe I'll change this to something or whatever. But that's not a bad one right there. Honestly, I haven't finalized that, but that's better than it was, right? Because the other one was just like, what the hell is this? This is like an actual call to action. That's way better. What else do we got here? Let's pop back over to our thing real quick. So change header image topics, profile video, more direct headline, talking about all that. FindIT main business, website, FindIT with messaging. Did that. Redo the bio. That's another good example. I'm sorry I'm giving you a LinkedIn tutorial here, but this is actually really important. Where's my bio at? I don't know where my bio is. Down here. So about, right? So fueled by progress, da-da-da-da. This does not say anything about websites at all. Like doesn't say anything about it. And again, I'm critiquing myself because in the past I had different thoughts, and like this was, I don't remember when I wrote this a while ago. Not a bad structure to this, but it's a terrible, like it doesn't say anything about websites. So I need to say that this is about websites. It's all about messaging. The other thing I know that I did is I put FindIT at the top here and said that I'm a founder. I should change, some of these things here, still clean this up. But that needs to be your main thing. You can have other things. I mean, I'm going to still keep these because why the hell not? But that's all important. So yeah. So put that up there. Make it the main focus. I build websites. That's what I do. I am a web developer. I have a web development agency. Boom. And then pretty much other stuff is like the actual brand itself. But again, more people are going to see stuff right now from Mark Joseph Szymanski than they are from FindIT. I don't know at what point that switches. Maybe like when you get to like Amazon level or something, where the brand is bigger than the personal brand. But like right now, my brand is actually my reach on my brand is bigger than FindIT. So I need to leverage that in some way. And also I should just leverage that in general, but that's kind of what we're thinking. I think this is going to work. That's kind of the overview of where I'm at. Sorry it took so long, but I'm long-winded and highly detailed. I think that we are headed in the right direction on this. I think it's going to be really good once we start to like position ourselves as more of like an authority in the space. We target the actual people that we want to target. I have no doubts that this is going to continue to move forward. We just got to be a little bit more intentional, a little more direct with certain things. And this right here, simple strategy document in 35-minute video is a great way to start that. So listen, if you stuck around to the end here, I greatly appreciate you watching. If there's any way that I can help, if you want to leave some comments down in the description, whatever, or down in the comment section, more than happy to chat, bounce ideas around. If you think this is stupid or you think that I could improve on this, I'm more than happy to hear critiques and suggestions on how to better my situation here. But yeah, this is the plan, and I want you to hold me accountable because I need to actually stick to this for longer than 6 hours. So thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll talk to you in the next one.